As citizens, we believe that democracy is not a guarantee, but a responsibility. We've all seen the headlines. We've felt the tension in our institutions. From efforts to undermine our elections, to assaults on truth, to laws that make it harder, not easier, to vote. The challenges to our democracy are real, and they are growing. But so is our resolve. Here in Sumter County, we know that democracy doesn't live on autopilot. It lives in the conversations like this one, in rooms like this, and in the courage of people who stand up when it counts. So that is why I would like to take this moment to introduce Josh Wheel, who recently ran in the special election in the congressional district.
Thank you all. My name is Josh Wheel. I was your Democratic nominee for U.S. Congress in the recent special election for District 6. Now, while we didn't get the result we wanted, we had some historic outcomes in that race. In 4 months' time, we raised $15 million. We built a field program that knocked on over 500,000 doors, with 180,000 of them coming from our, I'm supposed to say 60 ECs, but y'all know, 70 ECs, because Sumter was as equally involved. Villages Dem Club was as equally involved as anyone else. Our Dem volunteers knocked on over 180,000 doors in February and March, an unbelievable number, and drove out 83,000 plus votes for a first-time candidate on an April 1st election, which were absolutely incredible. In addition to that, our exit poll showed we finished with 15% of the Republican vote. Incredible, 80% of the independent and MPA vote. So, we feel really good about the work we've done, the infrastructure we have from our campaign. And I want you to know we are not done fighting. We are launching next month, and we are putting all of the work in. Because as she said, right, voter registration, managing the electorate here in Florida is incredibly difficult right now. We have the fewest number of county DECs we've ever had in my lifetime. There are 10 counties without Democratic organization right now across the state. 15% of our counties, Republicans are organized in and we are not. We have a lot of work to do this year. My team is already working with FDP to support and invest in organizing these 10 counties and making sure that we have infrastructures of support there so we can push out the vote in every district, every county in 2026. We have committed from our upcoming campaign $6 million to voter registration efforts in this state for the 2026 election. And we have committed $1 million for field efforts in every single congressional district. Far too many of our congressional districts, our candidates across this state, if the D-Trip or the people up in Washington look down and think Florida isn't worth it, get no support, no money, no help. But we can't wait for someone to come in and save us. We're going to make sure that we have the investment on the ground for every single congressional candidate in this state. Yes. We're going to make sure that Barbie Hardin-Hall has all the support she needs, so she can into the ground next November. And we are going to do that county by county, district by district, across this state. Because 2026 is an opportunity year. But that's all it is. Nothing is given. You're going to hear an amazing story from Officer Harry Dunn tonight. And I want to ask you all to think about how much work we have to do. What are you going to be doing between now and next November to make sure that no one else ever tells a story like his in Florida or anywhere else in America? Because look, we know what they think of Florida. Yeah, I mean, we're Florida, we know. What it tells the country when Florida turns blue in 2026. Is that MAGA? We draw the battle line here. We work and we fight for the next 18 months. And we're the ones who win this war. And I'll be leading this fight every step of the way. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Okay, Josh, thank you for your leadership, your courage, and your commitment to Florida and to our shared values. And now I am proud to introduce someone who is stepping up in a big way. Someone who is running in Florida's 11th Congressional District, Barbie Hardin Hall. Barbie is a fierce advocate for justice, for opportunity, and for the future we all deserve. She knows what is at stake and she is ready to fight. Please welcome Barbie Hardin Hall.
Hi everyone. I have to first start off by saying I apologize for not being with you all last Saturday. I was supposed to be with the Villages Democratic Club where I would officially kick off my campaign for 2026. And unfortunately came back from Washington, D.C. with a little bit of a bug last week, so I had to miss out. So my apologies for that, but you guys know I would have been here otherwise. I was in DC last week for a personal reason that kind of goes along with my reason for running for Congress the first time in 2024. As many of you know, my son, my 2-year-old son Everett, passed away from metachromatic leukodystrophy. Monday will be exactly 3 years ago. When my 2-year-old son was given a fatal diagnosis and passed away 6 months later, I knew I had to do whatever I could to help make sure that families would no longer be given a death sentence for their 2-year-old child. And in the 3 years since then, we have had the FDA approve a life-saving genetic gene therapy treatment, March of last year. And the last step was to get it approved for newborn screening, which was to be done last Friday when the, when the advisory council was supposed to approve it. And unfortunately, just about a month before, the Trump administration killed that advisory council. And newborn screening, if you guys did not know, is, other than vaccinations for children, is responsible for saving the most children's lives in America, the public program. And so I went to DC with other children and other families and other parents who've lost children to meet with our representatives and our senators and people from HHS to explain to them that because of this decision, which literally costs the federal budget $4 million a year, we will have children die. And we've been working for this for decades. And because of this decision, we will see people lose children and know that it could have been prevented. And we're still working, but that's the reason I went last week, and I know that we have people all across the country that are fighting decisions in our federal government right now that don't make any sense. And I've had the pleasure the last 2 evenings of hearing our distinguished guests tonight talk about finding one thing to focus on and backing it with your whole heart. And this has been my reason why, and my reason why for so many things. And sometimes we don't have things that we ask for that lead us on this path, that lead us on the path of running for Congress, like being attacked by insurrectionists in front of the whole world, or like losing your 2-year-old child. But sometimes it leads us somewhere and we just take it. And it leads us on a path, and led me on a path to help all of you and to hopefully be there for all of you, because I know what it takes and I know what leads you to go stand in front of your representative and say, I need your help. And for them to not listen to you. So that if I'm ever in that position and I have somebody come to me and say, I need your help, I know what led you there. And I know what it took to get you to that place. And I said I have the pleasure of introducing our guest today, but I also have the pleasure of introducing all of you to him. And in the incredible 2024 election cycle, all of you showed the world the power of the Democrats in the villages. You guys showed the power a golf cart parade could do. Because literally within 20 minutes, it wasn't even done yet, of me posting, hey, look at this golf cart parade we're doing. It had 1 million views. I didn't even know what was going on. And within weeks, we had a visit here to the villages by the second gentleman. Whoever thought that would happen? You all did that. And you all had the power to take a first-time congressional candidate who nobody knew, no experience, did not even raise $100,000, no staff, no nothing, and achieved the largest Democratic swing in the entire state of Florida. That was your power, and you have so much power, and we need you to show it. Because the state of our democracy is strong when we show up and you use that power. So we need you to use it in whatever way you can. And that's the Democrats in the villages. So, on to what I'm really here for, which is to introduce our very special guest. Our guest today is a retired Capitol police officer. He defended the Capitol against violent insurrectionists on January 6th. He also courageously testified before the House Select Committee, who were investigating that horrible day. Due to his public comments that Trump should be arrested for his actions on that day, his participation in that House Select Committee investigation, also his participation in testifying and in the trials against Oath Keepers, and their trials for seditious conspiracy that led to their convictions, President Joe Biden had to issue him and others that held these insurrectionists accountable, a preemptive pardon, because he feared political retaliation against them by Trump. He's also been awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. And the Presidential Citizens Medal. But to me, more importantly, he's a hero, along with the others that day, who put their lives, their health, their bodies on the line for our country, to literally protect our country. And since that day, the people that they protected with their lives, the people inside that building, who have since, and often some of them have let us all down, by standing by and allowing threats, continued threats to our democracy in other ways. He has continued to be a hero by holding the line for our country in other ways, like being here and taking his time to stand up for us and our country in other ways. So it is my absolute honor to present Mr. Harry Dunn. I also have to remind you that we spoke on the telephone in DC, Little Dicky.
I remember.
Yeah. I was in DC a year ago and was talking to a Capitol Police officer and told him how much I loved Harry, and he was like, hold on a second, put on his cell phone, and I called him up. And I was like, oh my God, I love you. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off by just letting you have a little introduction here and tell us why you're here.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I'm happy to be here. Even more so now, now that I am here. I had anxiety about coming. It's funny when we stopped into the little Circle gas station right before we came in, and I started seeing the golf carts. And I started thinking, remember in The Wizard of Oz, are you a good witch? I was trying to think about golf carts. Are you a good golf cart? And I was looking for the ones that had like certain stickers on them. Listen, I mean, like, let's be honest and be very candid. It's I have a target on my back, and it's unfortunate. So I do pay attention to my surroundings. I won't say nervous. I feel like saying I get nervous gives them too much power. But you know, you have to continue to stand up, to fight, to push back. Because they want you to be afraid. They want you to stop talking. They want you to not stand up. That's why we got great candidates, people that are willing. I applaud both of you all for standing up and continue. Running for office is a big deal. Everybody says, hey, you know, let's get somebody else in there. Well, all millions and millions of people, but the smallest percentage of people actually step up to the challenge, step up to the plate. And I'm glad that you all have answered that call. We need fighters. We need people that are willing to, listen, I appreciate the hero talk and we save democracy and all. Listen, to be very honest, I was just trying to make it home to my family. Like every police officer every single day, their goal is to make it home safely. Now, saving democracy in the midst of that is a hell of a byproduct. So, you know, and everything that came with it, so sure. But my goal that day is to make sure, one, no members of Congress and their staff got hurt. And secondly, all of my coworkers made it home to their loved ones. And the fact that we succeeded in making sure Congress was able to certify the election even at 2 o'clock in the morning. Listen, as ugly as January 6th was for me, for this entire country, one of my proudest moments is when they went back and certified the election, because their goal was to stop that, and they failed. So I feel very proud of the work the officers did that day. I'm just one officer just here to tell my story, and it would have been hard for me to not say anything. It's important to say something. When you see stand up, fight back. I have good trouble tattooed on me. At the great John Lewis. Listen, I could just ramble on and on and on, and just, but I'm happy to answer some questions and have a discussion here with Barbie. But I just want to thank you all for thinking so highly of me. It means the world to me, and listen, I don't know what people's faith are, but my goal at the end of my life is when I'm judged by God, I did everything I could. Everything I could. I left, to use a football metaphor, I left it all on the field. And that's what I want to do, and I encourage every single one of y'all to just do a little bit more. Do something, but don't do nothing.
They break easily.
I will tell you as a daughter of a Lake County Sheriff's Officer, former Lake County Sheriff's Officer, I know how often I worried about my dad coming home. I can't imagine what your daughter felt, having to see that play out on television and wonder about your safety. So the first question, how do you respond to narratives that downplay the severity of the January 6th events, and what steps can be taken to ensure accurate historical representation?
Well, I talk about my daughter real quick. Funny story. So in the midst of January 6th and everything's going on, we finally had a moment where it wasn't over, but I had a moment, and I grabbed all my coworkers that were around and said, hey guys, text your loved ones, text your wife, your husband, your brothers, your parents, let them know you're okay. I'm sure everybody's watching this and is extremely worried. So send a quick text, I'm okay, and let's get back to work. So I was looking for my phone to do the same. And I realized I left it all the way across the bus. So I ran over there to go get my phone. And as I pick up my phone to send a text to somebody, I didn't even decide who I was going to text yet. I'm fortunate to have a lot of people that care about me. My daughter was FaceTiming me. Like in the midst of it. And I'm like, I'm all sweaty and stuff all over my face. I was like, all right, let me get myself together. I was crying, so I didn't want her to see me worrying. Kids are like, they see a parent crying or something. So I wipe my face and I'm like, all right, let's get together, all right? Wipe the tears out your eyes, right? Whew. Little did I know, on my hand I had pepper spray. So I rubbed it in my eyes. So right when I go to answer it, I'm like, holy sh! My eyes are on fire, they're burning. And I'm like, hey, babe. Are you okay? Okay. Hi, Daddy. And she's like, hey, we made homemade ice cream. I was like, all right. Tell your mom I'm okay. I'll talk to you later. She didn't know what was going on. But I'm sure her mother told her, hey, call your dad, make sure you know. But that's how kids are. It's just like as a parent, you just want to make sure you are strong for your parent. But to answer your question though, that's what they want to do. They are attempting to rewrite what happened on that day. They are telling you that what you saw, you didn't really see. Donald Trump has referred to January 6th as a day of love. Right? Like that. How do you respond? So, listen, I have been heard all the time. Democrats need to move on from January 6th. Never. First of all, never. Secondly, I talk about January 6th. I respond to the things that are said and things that are done about January 6th. Donald Trump has a new comment about January 6th every other week. So he hasn't gotten over it, first of all. He's part of the people who attacked me and my coworkers and sent it back out on the street. They are running for office. They are being welcomed in the halls of Congress. They are guests at the State of the Unions. And they are being celebrated as patriots, whereas me and my coworkers are being called traitors, losers, liars. Imagine that world. And also, I didn't retire. I quit. Almost 16 years of service. 4 years short of being able to collect the full pension. I quit. Not because I couldn't take it anymore. It was, I work around assholes my whole life, right? Not because I couldn't take it, because I had to do something more. And that more was running for office. And I ran for Congress. I lost my primary. Yeah, sure, I'm a little disappointed about it. And I was more disappointed, more hurt that Kamala Harris lost than when I lost. Because I wanted with all my might, and that's why I ran, to stop Donald Trump, to stop MAGA. That was my why when I ran. So I jumped on board and I started campaigning initially for Joe Biden and then Kamala Harris and going all around the country and doing whatever I could do to stop this guy. So when I would meet people across the country, I'm not going to convince, probably none of us will probably, convince any MAGA supporters to vote for a Democrat ever in life. Probably will never happen. Let's be very honest. So we have to be honest. We have to pick our battles and energy with the people who we talk to. We have to pick those battles wisely. I'm talking to people who don't know what happened, who are unsure of what happened. Let's talk to those people, not people that say, oh, the cops were the bad guys. Wait, what? I'm not wasting my time and energy on those people. Now, maybe somebody else might. I don't have that energy in me. I don't have it in me. But what's important I'll give you a person. I was in Michigan. Now, in the DC area, we expect everybody to know what's going on in politics. I mean, we call it the Beltway area. And I know what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on. You know what Congress is voting on? Hey, the Congress isn't coming into session until 1 o'clock. Everybody knows everything about, so I was insulated. I thought everybody knew about January 6th. So I'm out in Michigan being a surrogate for Kamala Harris, and I do an interview out there with a reporter. And the reporter, and I'm not a guy who says, do you know who I am? That's not me. But the reporter said, so, you were there at the Capitol? This is a reporter, not an average citizen. So I expect a reporter to be a little more aware than the average citizen. But a reporter had no clue who I was. And it was like, that was like a wake-up call. People don't know. So it's important for me to continue to get out there and tell people who don't know. Not people who are disputing. The hell with y'all. I'm going to talk to the people that don't know, that want to understand. And I can tell about the hell that the police officers went through that day. And that the people who attacked us, in their own words, were telling us they were there because Donald Trump told them to. They were there to stop the steal. Those were their words. So I'm out there reporting that message to the community. And that's I say all of that to answer your question. That's what it's to do. Refusing to shut up. Continuing to speak out. Not be bullied into submission. We will not quit. We will keep on persisting. We will continue to show up, which is why I'm here 4+ years later, still talking about the worst day of my life. And let's be clear, the only difference between all of you and me that day is where we were. We were all victims of that day because what they wanted to do was steal your vote. They wanted to invalidate your vote. The only difference is where we were. We were victims. We caught the physical brunt of it. but you all were victims too that day, and they wanted to steal your vote, and we didn't let them.
What lessons do you think the country still needs to learn about protecting our democratic institutions?
All right, I spoke out about January 6th because I desired accountability. That's it. I wanted the people who did wrong held accountable. Period. Full stop, no comma, period. I wanted them held accountable. After January 6th, immediately after, everybody seemed to know Donald Trump was wrong for it. Kevin McCarthy, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, they all said it. We're done with this guy. This is it. All right, maybe we got, okay. I just wanted accountability. The House of Representatives initiated articles of impeachment. Great job, Nancy Pelosi. Good job. Great job, House, advancing those articles to the Senate. I was like, all right, the institution's going to work. It's going to hold the bad guy accountable. Mitch McConnell, 5 minutes. Yeah, or somebody wrong. That's how he talks. 5 minutes right before the vote, so the president bears full responsibility for what happened on January 6th. He's morally responsible for that day. 5 minutes later, I'm going to vote to acquit him. You literally just said he's responsible. So the impeachment of Donald Trump failed. So the institution of Congress failed me. Because I'm talking about me, this is personal. So I'm being very selfish. I'm going to use some me statements right now. But it's all of us. I'm talking about me, all right, what's next? We'll hold him accountable in court. There we go. Let's get him in court. Go Jack Smith, yay. Took you long enough, Merrick Garland. But let's go Jack Smith. He was serious about getting justice. We're going to do this. And he indicted Donald Trump. Hell yeah. Hell, I'm showing up in court. I'm at all the hearings. I was at his arraignment. I'm showing up. Let's do this. I got a great bottle of champagne that I've been holding on for a special occasion. July 1st, last year, the Supreme Court rules. Immunity decision. The president has immunity for official acts in the Kingdom of America. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? Kingdom of America. But it seems like that's where we're headed, right? Damn, well thanks a lot. The institution of the courts failed me. I am looking around and it's like, man, it's nowhere left. I'm like, I'm gonna wait, I'm not putting her on the spot, I'm just He's a Republican friend of hers. But no, it's like, all right, so I'm looking around, who else is left to save us? What's gonna happen? The courts screwed it, Congress screwed it. All right, November 5th, the voters, we the people are going to stop it. We have the ability to stop it. I'm gonna campaign my ass off. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure these people know what's at stake. Our democracy is at stake. November 5th, the results started coming in. And that stake just drove further and further into my heart. Because the country, this great land of ours, American people let us down, let me down. Said, the hell with you, Officer Dunn. We had an opportunity to show who we are as a country. But we did show who we are as a country. And I've struggled with this because I never wanted to say, I never could imagine saying, America sucks. It's a painful truth that I hate saying because I love this country. But we have to stop pretending we are this nation right now as it exists, that is high and mighty and greater than fascism, greater than sexism. We have to stop pretending that's who we are. We're not. Because we had an opportunity to show it on November the 5th, and we didn't. We showed the opposite. It's a sad truth, right? It's like, holy cow, am I really saying this about America, this country that I love, that I pledge allegiance to? It's a sad, hard truth to live with. And I struggle with that. But that also is my reason why I'm still here. Still continuing to speak out, not accepting that because I believe we can be so much better. We deserve so much better. Our future generations deserve better than a 34-time convicted felon leading us. That's why it's important to still show up. So that's the work that we need to do to continue to fight. Not give up, not accept this. I accept the election results. But I do not accept the fact that our country, this is a representation of who we are. 9 million less people voted in this election than did when the Joe Biden election. So 9 million people thought it was a better idea to sit at home. They thought that was their best option. So that's what we need to focus on. That's what I'm focused on, those people. We're not going to, like I said, we're not going to convert many more MAGA supporters. They're just too far gone, as Barbara said. But this country is worth fighting for. It's worth attempting to make it better. Now, I'm not one to gaslight people and say, you know what, it's going to be okay. 2026, we got it, y'all. Now, God damn, I hope so. I'm going to fight my butt off to make sure we do. But I don't know. But I will tell you this. If we don't do anything, we will lose. We will lose. But if all of y'all, this gives me hope right here. I'm seeing y'all here right now and y'all caring, you're attentive, you want to do more, you want to do something. That gives me hope. And that's what we need to do going into the future and going forward.
I am curious, how many members of Congress were at that arraignment? That Donald Trump, there were members there, right?
To support him.
Yeah, to support him.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
In different ways.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the most immediate threats to our freedoms that you believe voters and communities should be paying closer attention to in the lead up to 2026 and 2028?
All right. Yeah, this is just me, right? This is what I see out there. A lot of people have labeled stuff as misinformation. Let's just call it what it is, lies.
That's right.
It's not misinformation.
That's right.
Misinformation is saying, hey, this is $20, I thought it was $22, or whatever, just a mistake, right? That's not accurate. But these are flat out lies. That's what's at stake right now. Hey, we don't want to cut your Social Security. We don't want to cut your Medicare. How can we cut your Medicare? How can we cut it? We would never touch your Medicare. Is there a way we can touch that Medicare? That's what's at stake right now. And they are lying through their damn teeth about what they plan to do, what is happening with tariffs and everything. Lies and misinformation. No, I'm not saying this. Lies are one of the biggest threats to this next coming election.
That's right.
Because one of Donald Trump's biggest ads was a transgender ad that they ran on Monday Night Footballs. That was one of the biggest, I've seen it in a lot, I saw it in a lot of exit polls. They were saying that changed a lot of people's minds, that the Democrats were paying to get kids and turn everybody into women and stuff like that. My daughter last week, or 2 weeks ago, had a stomach ache. And the nurse had to call me and ask could she give her Pepto, let alone turn her into a boy. Talking about lies. And they run it, and uneducated, uninformed people latch onto that. And you see that. Well, the Democrats want to make all the girls boys. What? No. Absolutely. Lies. And it's up to us to be educated about these issues. It's up to us. So we can push back and not just go, well, no, nobody's doing that. When actually, the bill that he was talking about, Donald Trump first signed that bill into law when his first presidency, when they're talking about monies in jails for transgender, that was Donald Trump's bill. So that's why it's important to know the facts. So you can articulate, you can't argue. You present somebody with the facts. And say, this is what it really is. Instead of just having these online Facebook and Twitter arguments and conversations. No, present people with information, the truth. I think about this all the time. Like, I was in North Dakota 2 weeks ago, and Oklahoma the week before, and in Kansas, and I've been going everywhere. And what I've been seeing and hearing from people is a lot of these issues that one would appear to think we are divided on pass overwhelmingly when you just talk to the public about them. Raising minimum wage, legalizing abortion, or not even a woman's right to choose what she wants to do with her body. These are issues that overwhelmingly pass no matter what state you're in, red, blue, yellow, doesn't matter. But these politicians would have you believe that we are at odds about, we, the people, are at odds about it. No. That's why it's important to be educated and informed about that. In Kansas, as soon as the Dobbs decision got overturned in the Supreme Court, they were the first state to have it on their ballot. And it passed 70% in ruby red Kansas. So that's why it's important. Have these numbers, have these facts that you can push back at these liars, not alternative fact users.
So then how can we as everyday citizens play a more active role in defending our democratic values and combating that misinformation?
You know, and this is, Barbie alluded to this earlier, there's so much going on right now. The world is on fire. Like the president accepting jumbo jets from, adversary nations, and they are getting rid of our Medicare, and DEI is under attack, and veterans cuts. Any veterans in here? Thank you for your service, and all our veterans. The care that you all receive, the VA, women's reproductive rights, LGBTQ+, everything is under attack right now. USAID, the Department of Education, everything is under attack. And all our heads are spinning like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? Focus on one thing. What's your passion? What are you passionate about? Lock in on that. Don't try. You ever heard too many cooks in the kitchen? You think it's being helpful, your intentions are being helpful, but you're burning the gumbo. Come on now, get out of here, I got this. You go over there, go dice those onions up for me. Everybody has a role. Lock in on your one role. What's important? Could it be voter suppression? Could it be gerrymandering? Mark Elias is great. You know who Mark Elias is? That guy is fantastic. We put it in So lock in on one specific thing and give that your effort. Because, and count on your neighbor to do the same. Because we can't fight every fire. We have to have teams that are split up. You know, obviously this is all metaphorically speaking, right? But yeah, you can make some good friends out there doing that too. Somebody riding a golf cart with you. No, it's just important for us to stay engaged. That's the number one thing. Now, like, if you can't, it's tough. It's tough, right? I want to do everything. Just stay engaged. And also, donate money. They have the richest man in the world on their team. And probably the second richest, and the third richest, and the fourth richest, and the fifth, all the way down the line. They got all of them on their sides. And I've seen us Democrats saying, well, I ain't giving the Democrats shit until we get our shit in order. Damn, really? I mean, I get it, but it costs money to get your shit in order. It does. You know, I'll tell you a story. When I ran for office, it was, you know those text messages, Russia's $5 now, so we meet our deadline by midnight. Yes. Y'all, you know. So my team, we sent them out, and my father called me the next day. He said, son, I love you. But if you text me asking me for $25 ever again. Listen, it's important. It's important. Money is needed. Donate your time if you can't afford the money. Phone bank. Write a postcard. Knock doors. Tell your grandkids to knock doors. Get off that damn PlayStation and go knock some damn doors. Whatever. Something. But we can all do something. If it's donating $5, if it's donating 5 minutes, we got to do something. That's how we stay engaged.
Sign a candidate petition, because it saves $10,500. How do you see the role of law enforcement in safeguarding democracy?
Law enforcement really let me down. The Fraternal Order of Police endorsed Donald Trump all 3 times he ran for office. Right? So when people say it's hard to trust and find faith in law enforcement, I kind of get it. You support that dude? And you want us to trust you? Law enforcement is supposed to be the most trusted people in your communities, people that no matter what you can count on, you can depend on them. But when they're supporting a person like that, how can you have faith in that? It's kind of hard to. And this isn't anything against law enforcement, because we need us. We need our law enforcement. We need our good ones. We love them. I believe it's important for our law enforcement. You know what's right and what's wrong. I mean, that's your job, first of all. It's supporting a felon to run the country. Man, just sit with that for a minute. Just sit with that for a second. Even if you don't support Kamala Harris, that's your choice. But just stay damn neutral. That's all. I want that. You know, police officers generally lean Republican, sure. But in this instance, that was heartbreaking to see that endorsement, especially after what he did on January the 6th. Now, I am glad that the FOP put out a statement condemning the pardons, but I feel like if they were more forceful and not supporting him, maybe those pardons wouldn't have happened. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows what's going on in that peanut's head? You let us know? But listen, it's like the role, and this is, I'm not trying to get too far ahead with the role of law enforcement, but we're seeing something right now that we have never seen before, and that's where People are openly defying court orders. Supreme Court's making a ruling. The gentleman, Mr. Garcia, was ordered to be back home a month ago. He's still not here. So people are just kind of just testing the limits. The rule of law, my ass.
Yeah.
It's not. So I think it's going to take the people who have the authority, what ultimately is going to come down. And like I said, this is getting really far ahead. The U.S. Marshals are going to end up they can be appointed by the courts to have the ultimate authority over whatever the courts have. That's getting very far ahead. But we need to make sure that these people are prepared to uphold the rule of law and not the rule of man. And that's what it comes down to.
In moments of deep political division, how do we build trust in our institutions and with each other across ideological lines?
Man, these are some great questions, man. I tell you, how do we build trust in our institutions? We elect people like Barbie too, man. Right? They're serious. These Congress and these institutions, they're normal citizens just like us. The government is of the people, for the people, by the people. It's us. It could be any of us. We vote on you. Go represent us. That's literally what Congress is. So if we are unhappy and if we have lost trust in these institutions, then isn't it really us to blame since we put them there? Let's think about it for a second. We are the ones, we hold them accountable in Congress every 2 years, in the Senate every 6 years. So we have an opportunity to say, y'all aren't doing your damn job, bye. So we have ourselves to blame. So it's important for us to put people in Congress and in the Senate, like, are people that we trust. It's on us. That's how we regain the faith in these institutions. Listen, 2026, we have a hell of an opportunity. How do you stop Donald Trump? You win one damn chamber of Congress. That's how you stop him. He's not going to jail. Elon Musk isn't going to jail. They're not going to impeach him. But you win one house. His agenda and everything he's doing comes to a screeching halt. 2026 is huge. And also, I want to win as a Democrat, not because Republicans suck. They do. But I want to win because we're better than them. Not just because, let's not win in spite of their badness. Let's just because we're great. We're better. That's our message. It's not just, hey, Republicans suck, vote for me. That's kind of like the better two evils kind of thing, you know? I don't want to know. The better two evils my ass. The lesser of two evils, that's what it is. The lesser. No. We are better. We care about people. We want everybody to be seen, everybody to have a voice, everybody represented. We don't want to minimize people because of what God they serve, because of who they choose to love, what color their skin is. Democrats don't want to do that. We want everybody to be welcome. Every single person. Republicans do that. And they can tell us whatever they want. They're showing us by their actions. They're showing us that y'all don't want brown people around. You're telling us that you don't want women around. They're telling us with their actions. We're Democrats, we want everybody at the table. So let's win because we're better than them. Yes. Not just because they suck.
I'm going to skip the next question because I'm going to save it for last.
Okay.
What reforms would you advocate for to strengthen the resilience of our democratic institutions?
First and foremost, make it easier to vote. Yeah. The minute you turn 18, you are registered to vote. I mean, you're automatically registered for the draft. I mean, automatically. Why is it, you have a right to vote. You have the right to vote. So as soon as you turn 18, automatically, boom. That's first and foremost. Let's make it easy for everybody to vote. Voting should be a national holiday. Make it everybody has access to ballots. Why the hell is it illegal to give water to people in Georgia? Is it Florida too?
Yeah.
It's hot as shit outside. What are we doing? It reminds me, when I was a Capitol police officer, when Obamacare passed, you had people out there protesting against it and fainting in the middle of a protest. I hate free healthcare. We need some ambulances right now. Hope you got insurance, right? Like, why do listen, if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't try to make it so hard for us to vote.
That's right.
They would not. They absolutely would not. Republicans would be happy with 3% voter turnout. They don't want people to come out and vote. They don't want it. They don't want you to know what's going on. That's why you don't see these damn bills that they vote on until they voted on it. They don't want you to know. They want to do everything in secret. They work for us. They work for us, y'all. Keep on remembering that. They work for us. The institution of voting is under attack. I was in Oklahoma, and you might have been in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
No? Okay, on two of y'all. That's how I felt when I was out there. Man, that's hot. They have two major metropolitan areas, Oklahoma City and Tulsa. They don't have one federally elected member in Congress in any federal position because those lines, I mean, it looked like you gave a 3-year-old a crayon, and that's how they drew those lines. Why? I mean, if those lines were drawn fairly, Oklahoma could have 2 blue districts. But no. But why do they do that? To keep that power. To keep that power. That's one of the things I would do the most. Like, we have to have election reform. And also, campaign finance reform too.
Yes.
Citizens United? My God.
Yeah.
These people can use all kinds of outside money, and that's what wins elections. I mean, yes, the people do, sure. Let's be clear. But also, it's money too, because money helps you reach more people. It helps you get out to get people knocking on doors. It helps you get on TV. Those ads in DC are so expensive. My God. I was like, it costs how much to run an ad for a week? All right, y'all, I need $3 million. Help me out. I gotta get it. It's just so expensive, so it costs money. But these rich corporations and Amazon and Elon Musk and all these people are giving these Republicans all this money.
Churches.
Campaign finance reform will be another thing that we need to address too. Because I've learned, and I've learned this from the people that need to run for office, that need to be elected to office, they can afford to run for office. And it shouldn't be that way. Everybody should have an equal playing field, an equal platform. I would love to see a cap on it to say you can't spend more than X amount of dollars. Is it fair that somebody can $100,000 and their opponent can spend $10 million? It's not fair. How about an equal playing field for everybody? But Republicans don't like equality. They're showing us. They're showing us. I don't care what they say. They're showing us they don't give a damn about equality.
It's why ineffective members of Congress who never show up for the job keep their jobs. Unfortunately. I say this one for last because the other night at the town hall with Congresswoman Val Demings, it was my favorite question. What gives you hope about the future of American democracy despite the challenges we face?
That is a great question, right? Because we all have, things. Like I said earlier, in November I felt miserable. November 5th. I'm sure a lot of you all did too. Horrible, right? Like, and not just that day, the next day, next day. It's like, holy hell. Like, it lasted for a while, right? Probably still going on. Jeez, man. We could have had Kamala Harris. God, like you see, man, we deserve nice things. It's kind of like when you open a present, you be like, what the fuck is this? I wanted something so much better than this. Like, gee, thanks, honey. I love the pottery set, man. But it hurts so bad. Still does. It still does. I did go into a bunker, proverbial, and I wasn't going to talk to anybody except for my loved ones and my friends, and let's go drink bourbon, guys, and just whatever. Get ready for these next 4 years. Because I worked so hard, just like so many of you all. Y'all worked y'all butts off. People know what the Villages is now. And the world knows. Y'all worked so hard down here. A lot of us did. And we felt absolutely crushed. Still do. Still do. But that's what they want. They want to beat you into submission. They want you to shut up. They want you to feel that way. What gives me hope, though, is you all here showing up. Give yourself an applause for that. Listen, it is so easy to tuck your head in the sand. Whatever, I did my part. I did my part. Let them learn the hard way. You know what? You voted for this crap, now take what comes with it. Right? So, my kids, grandkids, one of my biggest fears, my daughter, who's growing up, a baby, is touching a hot stove. It's a self-correcting error, right? You touch that stove once, you will never, ever do it again. Right? So people have to learn. So maybe this vote is a self-correcting error for a lot of people. Maybe, let's hope so. But there are a lot of people who deserve our help right now. In Oklahoma, in Kansas, in North Dakota, they didn't vote for this crap. But they're going to be affected by it. They don't deserve this. So do we just say, good luck, you're on your own? Nah, you can't do it. I can't do it. You said earlier, nobody's coming to save us. It's us. It's us in this room right here. We are, picture it. We're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We don't have no SOSs or no life rafts. We are treading water as fast as our feet and legs can paddle. There's no lifeboat. It is just us keeping each other afloat right now. And the shore is 2026. And we are paddling our asses off to get there. We're not gonna codify Roe v. Wade and now under this president. We're not gonna pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. We're not gonna pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. We're not going to do that. So let's be honest with each other. That's not happening. We're trying to stay alive right now. We are treading water to get to the point where we can pass those things, because they're still in sight. We just need the right people in office to make sure it gets done. So that's what gives me hope, looking for the future. If we didn't have any hope, if we lose our hope, then what? If you don't have hope, then what? And that's what goes to earlier. I don't know if it's going to be okay. I don't know. But I know if I stop kicking and paddling, I'm going right to the bottom of that ocean. I do know that. But I know as long as I'm pedaling and kicking, I got a chance. And we all have a chance, as long as you all keep showing up like you are now. So keep that in your mind. We have to keep showing up, y'all. As hard as it may seem. Listen, I've been through hell. And if I haven't quit, then damn y'all can't quit either. If y'all see me one day say I'm done, then you have permission to just do whatever the hell you want. But until that day, I'm asking y'all ain't see me quit. Listen, we can open up my inboxes now from social media. Every other week is, you need to be hanging from a tree. That's all you got, buddy? Ooh. Listen, there's so many off-ramps for me. People like Barbie, we still in this fight. People like you all, there's probably, you know what, I died, I did everything I could. I knocked on more doors to this cycle than I have my entire life. I did my part. A little more next time. That's it, that's all I'm asking. That's what gives me hope. Y'all are encouraged. In the bleakest, darkest of times, y'all still are encouraged. That's what gives me hope. Y'all, I wish y'all could see the way y'all are looking at me right now. Right? I'm serious. You see, it's like this look of like, you are locked in, you're laser focused. It's like, man, that gives me hope. It's passion, it's determination. It's love of country. It's love of your neighbor. No matter what they look like, no matter who they love. It's passion that just makes, that gives me hope. That gives me hope.
I told you there is nobody in the world like the Democrats in the villages. Thank you so much for being here. It is truly an honor.
I want you to see next to me. Now, don't you have to question the intelligence of someone who would attack him? Anyways, I have a few more words I'm going to say. So, thank you all for being here today. To Harry, thank you for your honesty, your strength, and your unwavering commitment to protecting the principles that this country was built on. Your voice is a reminder that defending democracy takes more than words. It takes action, it takes courage, and it takes all of us. To Barbie, thank you for guiding a thoughtful and engaging conversation with the question and answer session. And for those of you that do not know this, we did have someone else scheduled to do that who was ill, and Barbie stepped in at the last minute, so we really appreciate it. So most of all, thank you to everyone in this room for showing up, for caring, and for being a part of this important work. Democracy doesn't begin or end on election day. It lives in moments like this, in informed conversations, in community action, and in our shared commitment to truth and justice. As we leave here today, let's carry this energy with us. Let's keep having those hard conversations. Let's support candidates who believe in democratic values. And let's make sure every voter in Sumter County and beyond knows what's at stake and knows that their voice matters. This is how we save democracy together. Now, Harry and Barbie are willing, if you're interested, to come up and meet them in person and take a photo with them.